Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Nanya. Same if this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying massive shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much. So today we'll be talking something very important. It's about this white boy, I don't even know what to call him, that came out to talk about diversity and the rest of it. And you know what? Actually, a black man, a black young boy also came out to debunk what he said with his own research, and he really came well prepared and all that. And he absolutely used the white man's he used his own stuff, his own research and all that to wreck him. And absolutely, that was absolutely amazing. And he did a great job, and with his own analysis and all that. And his own response was super amazing. And I also want to know what you all think about it, because it's a little bit kind of sketchy. And he was also trying to defend what is he called Hispanic people. And guess what? A Hispanic man actually tagged to the video, stitched to the video, to also show support to a white man instead of coming together with a black man to defend themselves, because it's all the minority groups and all that. And a lot of people did not find that funny. And sometimes they never look past the surface, because they are always on the surface and refuse to look way deeper than what is going on and the rest of it. And I absolutely think that JJ he always come with facts, and the black boy really came with a lot of facts. But man, the last woman that also spoke was absolutely great on it. So I am just gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And one thing I want to say is that all this racist young youth, getting so comfortable on this app is really very crazy. So straight up, I am rolling the...
Here's the truth about diversity in 60 seconds. First, what does the data say? Well, Harvard professor Robert Putnam conducted the largest study ever done on the topic, and here's what he found.
The greater the diversity in a community, the fewer people vote and the less they volunteer, the less they give to charity and work on community projects. In the most diverse communities, neighbors trust one another about half as much as they do in the most homogeneous settings.
Now, we really don't even need a study to see this. For example, the most diverse city in the world, Miami, has the lowest volunteering rate in America, and the least diverse states have the highest volunteering rates. And corporations are well aware that diversity prevents cohesion. Leaked documents from Amazon reveal that workforces with the most diversity are the least likely to form unions. So in other words, high diversity protects corporate profits, and the corporations know this. So it seems like all diversity really does is help the people in power divide and conquer. So is that why they push for diversity so much? Here's the truth about diversity in 60 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is about to be utterly fucking hilarious. But after you're done laughing, let it serve as a reminder to always read the sources these people are talking about. With that being said, I'm about to eat through your shit. Let's get busy.
First, what does the data say? Well, Harvard professor Robert Putnam conducted the largest study ever done on the topic, and here's what he found.
The greater the diversity in a community, the fewer people vote and the less they volunteer. In the most diverse communities, neighbors trust one another about half as much as they do in the most homogeneous settings.
That might be the quickest L of all time. Real quick, click off this video and go Google Robert Putnam Diversity Study. What you'll find is that this article pops up before you scroll down and find the actual study. This article here in Scientific American covers a re-examination of the Putnam study that was conducted in 2015, seeing as the original study was conducted in 2007. The authors of this paper examined the exact same data set that Putnam used in his study, and what you just conveniently left out is that when it comes to diversity, most of the distrust is expressed by whites who feel uncomfortable living amongst racial minorities. In other words, greater distrust may stem from prejudice rather than from diversity. In other words, if there's a downside to diversity, it has less to do with the behavior of racial minorities and more to do with how whites feel when living amongst non-whites. Another problem they found was that Putnam pulled results from a survey that asked people, in general, would you say most people can be trusted or that you can't be too careful in dealing with people? Even though past research suggests that black people and Hispanic people on average have less trusting attitudes than white people do. Meaning that black people and Hispanic people will have lower trust, but for reasons that have nothing to do with the degree of diversity in the community. Another problem they found is that diverse communities tend to be going through demographic change due to gentrification or white flight, meaning that instability could be a reason for lower trust and not diversity itself. So your truth about diversity begins with a 2007 study that's been refuted for 8 years now. Oh, but it gets worse. Continue.
Now, we really don't even need a study to see this. For example, the most diverse city in the world, Miami, has the lowest volunteering rates in America, and the least diverse states have the highest volunteering rates.
Now, I was gonna get on you for getting this source from Fox News, because of course you did. But would you imagine my shock when I find this? If you read up top, that's the exact paragraph that he clipped in the picture in his video. But if you read one paragraph lower, you would have seen that it says Boston, for example, has the highest informal helping rate of 57.9%, followed by the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, then Chicago, then New York, then Los Angeles, then Atlanta. So if diversity means less volunteering, why are some of the most diverse metropolitan areas in the entire nation some of the most volunteering? I was just gonna say correlation doesn't equal causation, but this is literally in the article. You have no fucking evidence that diversity is the reason why Miami doesn't volunteer enough, and you have no fucking evidence that lack of diversity is the reason why states like Iowa volunteer a lot. You're just saying things, but oh wait, it gets worse.
And corporations are well aware that diversity prevents cohesion. Leaked documents from Amazon reveal that workforces with the most diversity are the least likely to form unions. Diversity protects corporate profits, and the corporations know this. So is that why they push for diversity so much?
Level 1, I wanted to find where you got this source, so I googled it. Turns out you got it from Liberation Information, in an article that literally says this should give you a clue as to why our woke capitalist rulers are so eager to preach the mantra of diversity. And by the way, this source is a fucking questionable source with a far-right bias and low factual reporting. Level 2, I went and found some credible sources about what you're talking about. They're using a heat map that utilized over 24 different metrics to determine the likelihood of a Whole Foods store becoming unionized. One of these metrics is diversity index, and it found that stores at higher risk of unionizing tended to have lower diversity. So again, you literally have no fucking evidence that diversity caused this, so I went and tried to find you some. This study takes a look at nearly 7,000 organizing drives for unions that were launched between 1999 and 2008. The study discusses that how the little work that has been done in this field has two major limitations. One being that the literature on black people in organized labor is incredibly dated or historical, and the other one is that too much focus is put on trust and solidarity among workers rather than other organizational factors. And focusing on that assumes that diversity matters the most when union representation elections are being held, which ignores the fact that employers like Amazon have been taking increased steps to fight union organization campaigns in general, which means that many organizing drives are decided before workers even get to express their preference. So this study examined more than just whether or not they won representation elections, but they also examined whether or not they actually went through with elections before dropping out or withdrawing their petitions. It found that work groups that win union representation are less racially diverse, but it also finds that more diverse work groups are actually more likely to vote for unionization, but they're more likely to end in withdrawal. It also found that certain employer actions influence the likelihood of a withdrawal. And here's the kicker. Employers are more likely to use unfair labor practices to intimidate and fire employees for their union activity when a work group is more racially diverse. So yeah, more diverse workforces are less likely to unionize, but they're more likely to actually vote for unionization and not make it through because a corporation is doing illegal shit to stop them. Most of this was me reading your sources. I'd much rather you just come out and say you don't like minorities as opposed to dressing it up in thinly disguised anti-capitalism bullshit. That's so thinly disguised that one of your own sources was questionable at best. The fact that you just conveniently missed all of that speaks volumes to the message you're trying to push. But I guess it doesn't take a lot of work to be comically wrong. Good day.
Diversity in 60 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is about to be utterly fucking hilarious. But
So actually, you're both wrong about this. The conclusion that you come to about the data is actually from an article. I forgot from what publication, blog, or news organization it was from. But it's from an article. It's not from the study itself. What the study itself found was that the biggest change in trust was amongst white people, but not that they had the lowest level of trust when moving into a ethnically and racially diverse neighborhood. So Pew Research and many other places, but the one I remember is from Pew Research, has done research into in-group and out-group bias, and the data shows that white people have the lowest in-group bias and the highest out-group bias, meaning that they are more likely than anyone else to have high trust for people of different ethnicities and races. So back to the study that both of you are either intentionally or unintentionally misrepresenting, is that when people actually still have the highest levels of trust for people around them, it's just that, again, the level of trust has dropped higher, or rather more significantly, amongst white people. And here's the thing, we can have a mature conversation about the positives and negatives of living in diverse communities. Positives being like racism tends to be a lot lower in these diverse communities. People tend to respect other cultures more. People tend to share each other's cultures more. Even though people on your side of the political aisle tend to not like that when white people do things from other cultures, but that's another conversation. And the negatives can be that you're going to butt heads with people from time to time. For example, people like me who are more liberally minded, actually liberal, the views on gay marriage that some religious people have, just, I don't like them. If I end up having a far right, neo-Nazi neighbor, like, I might not like things he says about me, or my girlfriend, my family, I might not like his tattoos, or if I have like a cringy internet communist neighbor that just constantly rages on about white people and capitalism, like I'm just not gonna get along with them either. I don't know if you're intentionally or intentionally about this, but you're both wrong about this.
Here's the truth about diversity in 60 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is about to be utterly...
So I have a question. Although this young black man, or this young black teenager, has done a masterful job at debunking the bullshit, when a white supremacist are going to realize that lying, cheating, and stealing is not going to be as easy for them as it was 20 years ago? Technology is simply not going to allow you to get away with it. But that little young white fella is a student of his ancestry. And if you didn't know any better, you could easily argue that he did a damn good job lying. And there's no telling how much he has cheated or stolen to get what it is that he wants, desires, and believes is owed to him or
So the last woman actually cracked me up a bit, and then she wasn't wrong. She was actually right. And now let me tell you all something. You see that Mexican guy? A lot of people actually stormed to his page, and we are like, yo, I see you. We see you, man. Mexican man trying to rescue the white man and all that. And it's really kind of interesting how, like, Black people are always looking for a way to shield them, but they are always looking for a way to, give away Black people in order to, get the white people around them and all that. And people were like, wait, because he did not have enough enough research or database to talk on it. And people were like, wait, if you did not have enough data or you did not make enough research, why did you not wait to wait till you get the necessary things you needed to record it when you prepare to show, or rather than spewing rubbish in the name of trying to research study for your for his referencing and all that. And it's really like amazing how when sometimes something happens, Black people are really like always eager to defend other minority groups, but other minority groups are always looking for a way to give Black people away and all that, and that really sucks. And racism is far worse in diverse communities, and it isn't even diverse, that there isn't anyone to be racist against. And I keep saying, don't worry, when they are like, you know, sometimes they feel like they are far away from the reach of white people and all that. The truth is that as they are coming for everybody. And most times they think it's only like, you know, it's only black people that would. No, it is not. They do not even see you people as white. You are also a minority, like, you know, to white people. You all are on the same level, but they always want to single themselves out because they think like, you know, and that is really very crazy. And they keep talking, and he knows. He probably have not heard of sundown towns. This stupid Hispanic man, this crazy Hispanic man. He probably has not heard about sundown town. He has not even like, he doesn't even know how it happens or how it operates and all that. Anyways, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. Thank you all so much for all the love and support, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.